Most of it likely ended up in the division head's pocket. Art corrupting life, life corrupting art. From the time she was 10, my parents worshipped at Lulu's altar. Her precocity was evident early on. It was like a flag being waved energetically from a mountaintop. Neither of our parents had much education, and it stunned them to find themselves in possession of such a daughter. When we were small, we played devotedly together. Lulu was a great inventor of games, which often incorporated whatever she'd read most recently. One day we were stink bugs, looking for the right leaf on which to lay our eggs. Another, we were herdsmen fleeing Mongolian invaders. She was braver than me. Once, when the elderly woman who lived opposite us had left her door ajar while retrieving the mail downstairs, my sister even snuck into her apartment. "It's full of newspapers, stacked as high as your head," Lulu said excitedly, her eyes glowing as she dashed back. "There's a giant orange cross-stitch on her couch, with a peony and 6 fishes. As a child, she was always reading. Even at meals, she would sit and scan the back of the juice box. She must have read it a million times. Aspartame and xanthan gum and red number 9. It wasn't a conscious thing. She just seemed to feel uncomfortable when her eyes weren't fastened to a page. She had a mania for lists, too. By age 11, she'd memorized every bone in the human body, and she used to recite their names to me at night in an eerie voice as I held a pillow over my head. Sternum, tibia, floating rib. In high school, I rebelled against her brilliance by playing video games. Lots of them. Spending hours whipping a gun back and forth across dusty landscapes empty of people, except for those who wanted to kill you. Usually there were 6 or 7 of us at my friend Xingjian's apartment, and we would take turns and cheer one another on. We were an army, invincible. Or if we weren't invincible, we could hit replay at any time, which was pretty close to the same thing. Lulu, meanwhile, was a model among model students. She studied so intensely that it left her physically bowed and exhausted, like an athlete running a daily marathon. And at night, she dropped off to sleep without a word. My mother fed her stewed mushrooms that looked like tiny brains when their stems fell off. They would be good for Lulu's studies, she said. She gave me some as well, though by then it was plain that any hopes for academic glory resided with her daughter, not her son. Constructive effects of mushrooms be damned. When we sat for the college entrance exam, it surprised no one that Lulu scored high enough to earn a place at a university in the nation's capital, a bus and a train and a plane ride away. My mother wept with what she said was happiness. "A scholar," she kept saying. "A scholar." She and my father, she liked to remind us, hadn't studied long before going to work in the factories. "We are so proud," my father told Lulu. There was an intensity to his expression that unnerved me. One of our school books had a black and white illustration of a long-ago eunuch serving a feast, staring hungrily at the food on the emperor's table, and there was something of that look on my father's face. The night Lulu flew out was overcast, the twilight that preceded it a peculiar mix of orange and ochre. Earlier that day, my father had given her a gift, her very own laptop. It was thick with promise, like a fat slice of cake, sheathed in blue plastic. It wasn't like the old computer that we all shared, which stuttered and stalled, keys sticky with grease and crumbs and bits of hair. This one had keys that yielded obediently when you touched them. I'd stared at it enviously, too filled with longing for words. "Don't worry. You'll get one too, when you leave. The exact same," my father said. At the airport, our parents assumed expressions appropriate for refugees being abandoned at a border. "Lulu, be good," our father said. I stood there awkwardly, a little resentfully.